It started with one stitch, symbolizing one life.
I put my son Alex to bed.
Now, this stitch is weaving countless stories together.
It was the perfect day until it was over.
Similar stories of sadness.
Something didn't feel right, so I went across the room and was about to change in my pajamas. In my heart, like something was wrong. And I knew just walking towards him, something was not right.
Unbearable loss.
He died from SIDS.
And wondering.
So I replay that day all the time. What if I hadn't put him down then? What if I would have woke him up and gave him a bath? What if we changed even one thing? Where would we be now?
Alex was 2 months.
He had been a preemie.
4 days old.
He got 5 shots that day, and 48 hours later, he died.
Dealing with so much tragedy, the loss of her infant son and the death of her dad the year before.
And this was the very first bear.
Roxanne Gill decided to make a bear.
I had my dad's shirts, and I was thinking it would be kind of nice, you know, to have something made to where we could hold it instead of having a shirt in the closet.
Then
a friend asked, could I make a bear out of one of her blankets from her son that had passed from SIDS.
Facing the difficulty of cutting up her son's blanket and clothes, Alex's bear was third.
It was very bittersweet, you know, cutting it up, but then once it started taking form and it started, you know, you could see the face of the bear and it had the little ears, and then stuffing it and putting those final stitches and having something tangible to hold on and hug on to.
She calls her gift Heavenly Bears, made out of blankets and clothes of their lost loved ones. People started talking online.
And I started being known as the Bear Lady.
Her bears started spanning the globe.
I've sent them to London, I've sent them to Australia, and all over the U.S.
All word of mouth.
I just sent some to Dubai.
Now there's a waiting list for these bears to help through heart-wrenching pain.
There was one bear I made in particular, and the baby had not died from SIDS. It really touched me. His mom was dating a guy that is now in jail for murder. He had shaken the baby.
Roxanne hopes holding something close can start the healing process.
This one's Peanut. This is our tiny Alex bear. Since he was a preemie, I wanted to make one smaller than all the rest. If you lose your parent, you're an orphan. If you lose your spouse, you're a widow or a widower. But when you lose your child, the pain's so horrific there is no word to describe.
Roxanne has been there. She's a breast cancer survivor. Her mother just survived a major heart attack.
Keep all those families in your prayer.
She says faith has always pulled her through.
He wasn't much larger than that photograph.
9 years later, Alex's things are now packed in his box.
These are his actual handprints and footprints. He still gets things in the mail. That is the hard part. He gets stuff from Toys R Us all the time. Yeah, that one still smells like him.
Roxanne can look at Alex's things now and smile.
Knowing that I'm helping them just a little, that's why I do what I do.
Knowing that even though his time here was short.
Part of Alex's purpose was, you know, so that I would jump out there and touch the world, because before that, I didn't sew.
His life holds deep meaning.
A happy baby that touched the world. He led his mommy into something that heals others' hearts.
I feel really helpless. I'm hanging in there, so I have to.
As a parent, you know your time to go should come first.
I just want Adam to have a chance at life.
But for Terry McKinley, who's faced loss before,
It's very difficult to have a child that's sick.
the final blow. Her son Adam got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
He really has always been a major fan of weather.
About a year and a half ago,
And I want him to have that chance to study it.
Adam started to cough. Then the sweats. His mom made him get checked out.
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Then the news.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's cancer.
His story
I love you very much.
is unique.
Somebody says that to you, there's a hot flash that builds up in you that you can't really describe.
He went through chemo after chemo.
Pretty much chemo 24/7.
3 tries.
It was starting to damage my body to do that kind of chemo anymore.
Didn't work.
This just like lined me up with the laser beams.
And now his final chance. A stem cell transplant. A potentially deadly procedure.
I just could not stand the thought of not having him around in my life.
Dr. Han Min from the University of Colorado Medical Center says they use the patient's own stem cells.
And when they come out of the blood, we then put on the machine where we can split the cells from the plasmas and the red cells.
Doctors wiping out his defenses completely.
It's basically like a humongous giant reset button, like for a computer. You just reset everything.
Bringing him to the brink of death.
With that big amount of chemo and radiation therapy, we wipe the bone marrow completely clean. There's no chance of people recovering without the stem cell put it in. And they were rescued with their own stem cells.
In order to have a chance at life.
Help it regraft basically into normalcy, and hopefully without cancer.
He will be at the CU Medical Center for several weeks.
But for a while there, I'm going to be kind of, if you will, flatlined.
And under quarantine.
Hopefully we get done with this because I'm certainly tired.
If he's exposed to someone who is sick, he might not survive.
This camera right here, it is a Canon PowerShot.
Adam is willing to blog his worst moments for us.
Hi, it's Adam. I'm back from the very last, TBI radiation therapy that I'm gonna get. I'm a little bit tired right now. I'll try to keep these video diaries as long as I can while I feel good. It's supposed to go downhill from this point forward. So we just started the procedure for get the stem cells going. I'm all hooked up to more lines. 30 minutes until my stem cell transplant. That's what stem cells look like. It looks like blood, just a little bit different.
His body starts to crash.
I just wanted to let you guys know that I made it through it so far and everything is going good, and I'm gonna go take a nap now if I can.
Now sleeping and in excruciating pain most of the time, his good cell count nearly zero.
I'm just going to give some morphine as well.
Afterwards, a platelet transplant gives him a severe reaction.
But I had welts.
You have welts everywhere.
My arms. It was itchy.
You can see the hives.
It's kind of scary too because I got short of breath.
And even his hands shaking. Then his hair starts to fall out in clumps. And nearly 2 weeks later, he takes a turn
ever so slowly,
for the better.
but it is starting to come back to life.
Hi, I love you.
This is what I do to pass the time.
There's my father right there, and he's got Hercules.
It's as good as cameras.
From here, he will go to outpatient care. He is not out of danger yet.
If I were to fall down, my platelet levels are so low that it would cause bleeding.
His road to recovery just beginning. After all of this,
I won't give up.
there's a 50% chance his lymphoma will return.
The light of my life, I love him desperately.
Only time now will hold the final answer.
It's been a long road, for sure. Support is a big deal for cancer. It really is. No idea how much until it actually affects you. And then you see how many people really love you. And that takes a hold.
Vida Urbonis, News Channel 13.